Welcome to the 43rd episode of the Reseller Six Pack. We will be talking about tips to increase your eBay sales tonight. I'm Lauren, Hot Chic Thrift, and tonight I'm drinking some Truly spiked and sparkling water, and it's lemon and yuzu, which I'm not sure what that is, but it just tastes lemony.
I haven't seen that one. Is that by the LaCroix?
They don't have any carbs. They're like 2 carbs in the whole thing and no sugar, and they're really yummy. They're one of my favorite summer drinks.
I'll have to try those. We might not have those here. I don't remember ever seeing that brand.
They're super good. They're my favorite. I'll go to Tanya next. You're in the order for me here.
Hey everybody, I am Tanya, also known as Thrifty Treasures here on YouTube. And tonight I am hydrating in my Bless Your Heart little cup here with water.
Bless your heart.
Steven Steph.
Oh,
Hello, Steve, Steph, little Jerry Seinfeld down there chewing on a frozen peanut butter.
Oh,
I'm so glad Jerry could come when it was on my channel.
Oh, you're out here. Steve, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking. This is a new one for me. It's actually the same one. It's Longboard, but this one is the Island Lager. Let me test it for you guys. I haven't had this one, I don't think.
It's really good.
It looks good.
Oh, that is good, and it looks neat. Kind of like I like the red. Anyways, that's where we're at.
Yep. And I'm not drinking. Still on my diet. Still have another 2 weeks to go, probably.
Nice. Well, we'll go to Ronnie next.
What's up, everyone? I don't have any drink. It's out right now, but it was water. Taking it easy.
Take it easy.
hydrating.
Yes. Shane, you're next.
Hey everybody, I'm Shane the Resin Grind Picker, and I'm drinking Michelob Ultra. I don't know, it just looked really good at the store, and I mean it tastes pretty good, but I've had it before. But yeah, it just looked good. I just wanted a light beer. Really.
You're on a diet, it's okay. You can say it. This is a safe place.
I
Ready.
have to watch my figure, okay? So that's why.
I like your shirt, Shane.
Thanks. Definitely, yeah. Pink Floyd. It's not vintage. It's just regular, like Target.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's pretty comfy.
I know it's a shame, but I kind of prefer clean and new to like 30-year-old shirts, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't they sell those at Target nowadays, though?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have like Repops and stuff. So does Walmart and Meijer. Stuff like that. Yeah.
What if Mick Jagger wore a Rolling Stone shirt and he had his DNA all over it?
No.
All right. There you go.
Next. We got to keep going through.
Andy, I think you're up.
Oh, it's me. Okay, sorry, my thing might be cutting out. Tonight, I'm Andy the Pearhead Picker, and tonight I am drinking Sierra Nevada's Hazy Little Thing IPA.
Wow.
Yum. Jory.
Hey, my name is Jory. My channel is Good Use Goods. I'm drinking right now Crazy Uncle's Hard Ginger Ale. Craft soda for grown-ups. And I polished off the can in 2 minutes because I choked on some popcorn earlier. So I'll be getting a drink soon.
Lonnie.
Hey guys, I'm Lonnie, also known as Garage Flips on YouTube, and tonight I am drinking Corona, and with a lime. I did cut up a lime. It is very refreshing. I think John was drinking it Corona not too long ago, and man, it's so good. I have a 6-pack, and I am going to probably literally drink a 6-pack within an hour. It goes down so easy.
It does.
I love Corona.
6-pack.
John, you're up next.
I am John, a Cincinnati Picker. I am drinking a Cincinnati beer, Nellie's Caribbean Style Ale. And I am very comfortable tonight because I actually have an office chair and a desk and a like a real setup in my basement finally. I've been working on this little like shelf for the past month and like this stupid chair, but check it out. This is like my little setup down here now in my basement.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fancy.
comfy. I like it.
Is that reclaimed wood? That's
It
what
looks like it is,
Is
but
that
it's
the
not.
binga?
Faux.
Got in there.
Should get a Babinga desk down here.
Yeah.
Nice shirt, John.
Thank you. Yeah, I got this at the reseller rally from Pete.
Cool.
Very nice.
I think Pete's watching us. I thought I saw him in the chat a minute
Yeah.
ago. Thanks for watching us, Pete. Well, tonight we were going to talk about eBay tips to increase sales. And I don't know if you guys want me to go first or if anyone else would like to start. Just let me know. I'm ready either
Go
way.
for it, Lauren.
Kick it off, Lauren.
My number one tip that I don't always follow myself, but when I do, my sales definitely increase, is listing every day. Like my store does so much better when I list every day. And if I list about $500 worth of items, like it's not even the amount of items I list, but if I list to that dollar amount, I really notice that my sales go up a lot. And when I'm doing it consistently, I can really tell.
Tried and true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I notice a lot of times as I'm listing, other items sell.
Mhm.
It's really weird. It happens like almost every time.
It is really weird. It does happen. We've said that so many times too. It's like,
Yeah. Something that's been listed forever and you start listing a bunch of stuff and all of a sudden that item
that
goes.
weird thing.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
never
not-
the stuff you're listing. It's always
No.
something that's sat for
Yeah,
3,
it's
4,
always
5
old
months.
stuff
Yeah.
that sells right away.
Something
for
you're
me.
almost ready to get rid of, and you're, oh shit, it's sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good though. That's the best kind of sales to have.
Yeah. That's an awesome tip.
It is.
Yes. I'm not sure who wants to go next. Should I call people out or do you guys?
I'll go next. I'll go next. So here, like when I source, I pick up a lot of different types of items. It could be like video games, electronics, books, clothing items, all in the same weekend. And one thing that I really like to do is I like to list a few of one item type, a few of another item type, a few of another item type. I don't try to list like all of the same item at the same time. I think keeping variety going into your store is good. And I think if you can kind of change up what you're listing, then if one type of item isn't selling right now, one of the other ones will. So I like to just vary what I'm listing and vary what I source too, for that matter. But
Mhm.
that's a different.
That's good
Yeah.
advice.
That's really good advice.
That's got a good one.
Oh, when we were talking about it earlier, I said, how about buy stuff that sells? You know?
That's
Um,
awesome.
That's a
Right?
great tip.
Yeah, if you don't be afraid to look it up. Even if you're at a yard sale and you're in front of the lady and she's looking at you, look it up. Who cares? You're never going to see her again. You're not going to hurt her feelings. Look it up and decide if you want us, if the profit's in there. You know, so many times we've gotten in the car because we were like early on like, ashamed that you're looking it up or whatever, but we don't care anymore. We just look it up. I act like I'm texting or whatever. And it's worth a lookup and worth the embarrassment or having them jack up the price. Ask them the price first, then look it up, you know?
People they truly don't care. We have yard sales and I think especially young people at the yard sales, they stand right there and they go through every item and it doesn't bother us. And I think that if that does make you uncomfortable, it's unfounded, you know, like whatever your fear is, there's nothing to be bothered by that. And also in addition to that, like looking things up, you want to buy stuff that people are buying. You know,
Yeah.
you want to buy stuff that when you list it, there's people actually buying it. If there's only one sold, unless it's a rare item where there's not any listed, you know, those are different cases. But if there's one sold and a ton of them listed, you might be wasting your money and your time.
That's what I'm saying about the variety is that like a lot of times I'll buy yearbooks and stuff and that stuff takes a long time. So if I pick up like say a lot of yearbooks one weekend, I don't think my time is well served to list all the yearbooks right away
Mhm.
when I have other stuff, but I do want to get them listed.
Yeah.
So you want to mix it in with a mix of stuff that could quick flip like within an hour, and then some other stuff that maybe has to marinate for 6 months or whatever. You don't want to do all 6 months stuff because then you're you can hurt your cash flow.
Right.
It's true.
That's a good point.
That was a good
Well,
tip.
And for me, like when people talk about niching themselves out or like focusing on a niche, like that might be good to do that when you're first starting out. But you really want to, like for me, I bloomed across several different things into men's clothing, women's clothing, like hard goods. And I started with hard goods. So because I feel like if you keep a different amount of stuff in your store, you're going to end up selling more anyway. If you just have that one niche like vintage concert shirts, I probably wouldn't sell very much. And that's just the truth about it.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's true.
I think one way you can increase sales if you're open to it is to have someone else critique your store. Recently in our Facebook group for This Week in Reselling, there was a brave soul that did that very thing. He put a store out there and he got a lot of critiques, and everybody was, it was civil. It was a lot of really good advice. Like some people were saying your keywords need to be better. Some of the words you're using are unnecessary. Photos can be a little bit better. If you put it out there and let other people critique it, they're going to see things that you can't see. You're probably too close to it to really see how you can improve it. So, not so much even on buying more things, but just the things you already have and you're trying to sell, really make them the best that you can.
Yeah.
Have
That's
you ever
really good.
have you ever gotten your store critique, John?
No, I'd love for someone to do it though, because I'm sure it's terrible. My pictures are crap.
My pictures, you can tell what time of night I'm taking photos at. Beautiful, it's midday. If it's 3 a.m, they look like shit.
Where the shadow is on the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Like I saw on the Six Pack Facebook group, somebody, I can't remember who it was, had said, their stuff just isn't selling. Can you guys look at my store? And I thought that was so cool. A lot of people looked at it and gave good advice. I think they really helped them out. So if you've got a group like that, somewhere place you feel safe to ask, then that's great.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that for our jewelry group.
Ooh.
Like people who sell jewelry.
Yeah.
It's a tricky situation though, because I've had people ask me to look at their store before, and then I'll look at it and try and give like really good opinions, and then some people take it really well, and then some people they get defensive.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be in the right place to give and take that kind of criticism. It's kind of tough, and you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah. Never
But you
mind
wanna
about
help
the
them.
group. I don't want to police that. No, thank you.
Well, and for me, like I did free eBay store reviews, and I still review people's store. I actually have one I have to review, and I think she may be in the chat. I still haven't done that yet, but when I actually did several on YouTube, and I never really ran into anybody like that was defensive, but you really have to like kind of constructively give it in a nice way.
Yeah.
But that's a subset of people that are actually giving it to you to put out there on YouTube, so they're probably going to be more ready. But yeah,
you're less likely to have somebody pissed off at you unless your reviews are also reviewing that they are ugly.
Yes.
They're probably not gonna mind that.
Yeah, and I've been called out like on using too many adjectives in my title for my keywords and stuff. But I don't care if I think something is sexy or something is beautiful, and you get so many characters for your eBay title, you might as well fill it all up.
Max them out always.
Women like adjectives.
It helps sell things with women too. It does.
Men like adjectives too. I've used. That was a little sexist, Tanya.
That's interesting. I mean, and I'm no expert, but is that like if I'm searching for something? Let's take for example, if I was selling an automotive related item, and I know that there's certain groups that would be interested in this. Let's say collectors, like hot rodders, gearheads, things like. There's words that they use in their community where I would, and I've done this before. I use their words in the title, and because I'm assuming that if they're doing a search, they would use those words. Do people look up and I'm asking this like legitimately, do they look up like sexy or, you know what I mean? I really am asking like,
Yeah,
would they
totally.
say,
I would imagine
a
some
sexy
people
dress
do.
or,
Yeah, women totally will. But I'm sure if you were
Okay.
listing a hot rod at him and you put cute with a bunch of U's in it,
I'm just asking,
A seductive carburetor, you know. It doesn't really
yeah.
I'm asking if those adjectives are they,
I think
is
women do
it a
sometimes.
sound, like a sound science behind it, you know, like, hey, people, I'm asking legitimately, I'm curious because
I think you're onto something, Steve. I've been listening to a bunch of video games lately, and a lot of them are like high end,
Sexy ones.
right? There's been so many reproductions and fake ones out there, like it's rampant. Authentic is used a lot
Yeah.
Oh,
nowadays
yeah.
in video games. It wasn't that way just a couple years ago, but now a lot of them, almost all of them, are using authentic. So it's just good to add.
Yeah.
Authentic, genuine
Yeah.
too. is
Yeah,
another
genuine,
one I
yeah.
see that.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
CIB for complete in box is another one I see for video games all the
You
time.
see OEM. OEM.
Yeah.
is another one you see.
OEM, NOS too. You see a lot for old car parts if they're brand new because that's new old stock.
Mhm.
You know, it's an interesting concept though, because I think we're talking about like I don't think people are searching those words, like Tanya's talking about.
I do for video games. Yeah, I don't put sexy though.
No, but I'm talking about like Tanya's words, like sexy, cute, you know, those type of adjectives. But you know, there's a difference between okay, I want to get my listing on the page of listings that somebody's going to look at. So now that you're there, now that person's got that list in front of them. Now they've got what 25 in front of them. Now, how do I get them to click on mine? And I think that's where Tanya's adjective is going to come in, not on the search side, but on the click on my listing out of 20 listing side.
Yeah, she's separating
makes
herself.
sense. That actually, I could see that, Lonnie. That's a good way of put, because you
yeah.
get on that page and then all of a sudden I see sexy. I'm going to sexy.
Hey,
Yeah, I want to be sexy. Who doesn't want to be sexy, right?
Yeah.
Put like the adjective in like bold print along with, you know,
Ah,
in your title and stuff, so it really kind of pops out. Yeah, I could see that.
totally makes sense because we are visual.
And I do think starting, you're like, say the same thing like Lonnie said, where say they're just typing in the keyword and it's Coach Purse or whatever. They don't care that the first two items in your title are Coach Purse. But if you start it with sexy Coach Purse or whatever you're going to say, you know, if you put the adjective in the front, I've noticed things like that help with certain things that I've sold, not the sexy purse, but certain things I've sold that were like geared toward moms or something. I've put, you know, the first word all bold with, we used to be able to put like a heart in there, like a red heart. Now you can't put it in the title, but for a while there, I was putting those in there and man, those things would sell faster if they had a red heart in there or cute or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
they definitely did help.
Have you guys seen the eBay store where the woman is wearing a low-cut shirt and she holds the item in a very specific place? Steve was saying something about how we're visual people, and that was like somebody
Steve,
just showed that story
Yeah.
the other day, and I was thinking about it.
Steve, you think you could use Don King for that kind of a
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Like
would
to
go
sell
over
yoga
well
gear.
for yoga
Hanging
shorts.
some Christmas ornaments off it.
They would definitely be curious.
you would have to definitely sell those in that, what's that section on eBay where you have to be like
The adult
a
section.
certain age? Yeah.
Section.
You mean the awesome section?
The best section in the world.
That's what
Weird
Lonnie and I
browsing
use
history
for like
section.
95% of our material of This Week in Reselling. We just look through all the everything else category and the stupid stuff on eBay.
It's funny.
Michelle Lathan is saying this is the exact opposite advice other resellers give. But at least it's free. It is free.
Yeah, this is what you get for free.
This is what happens when you don't pay for your advice. This is what you get, guys. Sorry.
I will say though, going back to the titles, I like to build my titles out how someone would search for something. I try to pretend I'm the person who's going to buy it when I write out my titles. And I try to think of it like in an SEO sense of how someone would pull it up. And I try to make sure that everything that's informational that someone would search for is the first piece of the title. And then if I have space left, I'll fill that space with other descriptive words that
That's
just
smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously you got to get the like what the freaking item is in there, and then
Yeah.
if you've got room to play around with. You play around, right?
Yes.
And I like to use all of my description boxes, the drop downs too. I fill in every single one if I can.
Do
Because
you?
I really think
That's
that
really
helps.
I actually on those there too. I'll actually add my own custom boxes to a lot of those just to add extra little things in there as well.
And on those boxes on the size, I always actually spell out the size, and then I put the abbreviation for the size in there as well.
That's awesome. Can I give another tip?
Sure.
I don't want to go out of order,
Is it
but
your
just
turn?
I don't know, but they were talking about stuff that made me think of this. So, like you guys are saying, oh, I do this and then I add all these. I think that like being lazy when you, and especially if you're listing a lot of stuff, it's easy to get lazy on the title, the description. You know, if you're in a hurry and you just want to get through this, or you got an item that you're not real, you know, you're just not in love with it. I'm speaking from how I do it sometimes. If something's just not sexy enough, I don't want to put a lot of time into it. But I had something happen where this guy, I had a Sennheiser. John, you might know what this is. It's a Sennheiser backpack. It's a little thing like, I guess, when you're singing.
Oh.
It's a transmitter, Lonnie. It's that brand.
Oh, yeah.
But
I know
it's
what
a
you're talking about.
transmitter.
Wireless?
Transmitter. And it's not like a
Looks
newer
like an
one or
iPod
anything.
size.
Yeah. Got it for a couple bucks at thrift store. And the antenna's intact, but part of the little sleeve, you know, it had a little bit of the wire exposed. And I opened up the battery compartment and everything's real clean. And I was like, what kind of battery does this thing use? Because it looked weird to me. And then I closed it and I go, screw it. I'm going to just list this for parts or repair, because they were selling really well. And it was only a couple dollars anyway. So I listed it. And then I got a message today and this guy goes, hey, what happened? What shows up on there's a little window on the side. He said, what shows up in that window when you put a 9-volt battery in it? Like, well, let me find out. And I even said, my listing originally said untested, you know, I didn't test this thing. I'm just selling it for parts. And so I put the 9-volt battery in it and I said, oh, cool. And I took pictures of everything that showed it powered up. And then I just, you know, I changed it. It looked a little more sexy. And so I did add, you know, that I'm still selling it for parts, but it powered up. I don't know how to use this. I showed what was on there. But I think not being lazy or just developing a good habit of doing like Lauren's describing, Andy and Tanya, I don't know if everybody else is doing that too, but filling in as many boxes as possible. And really, you know, like massage that thing in our descriptions. We used to do that really hardcore, you know, like, but kind of lazy right now. And I think that
lazy is the last word I would use to describe you two.
No.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We're actively lazy.
Yeah. But you know what? I think that is like just hearing when you guys said that. That's why I was like, oh, I want to talk about that, because that's important stuff, and you don't do it one time and it's in there.
So what was your thing then to revise
the tip
it?
was don't be lazy when you're doing that, when you're doing your listings.
Don't be lazy.
I'm lazy. I can't get into the specifics at all. Like, I've been doing eBay for a long time, and there have been so many changes. And of course, item specifics has been one of them. And it is time consuming for me. And that's why I love Poshmark so much. I wish I was selling more over there than I am. But I want to get it listed and on to the next thing fast. You know, I don't want to spend a lot of time. That's why there is search engine optimization. They should be picking that stuff up from the title and from the description as well. Why should we have to go in there and fill in item specifics as well?
I agree.
I need all the information. Why do I need to put in a pretty little box for you? I mean, come on.
Or how about just from the photo? The photo, their photo should pick it up.
Why really getting the big item options and listings is certain electronics that have a lot of options. If it's a video game, you know what you're buying. You know you're buying 007 for N64. I don't need to put the year. I don't need to put the manufacturer. I don't need to put where it was made. None of that. It's just it's a game for N64. It's American copy. There you go.
Are you cringing over there, Andy? What's your thoughts on this?
No. No, what he's saying is absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, for video games and stuff, Yeah, that's perfect. Less is more. You know what I mean? People know what they're
But-
buying.
Then I sold a mixing board, and there's like 30 different outputs. There's like 2 different power options. So that was pretty handy because I originally had no information on it, and I kept getting questions on it every day. Well, how many XR whatever outputs are there? What power does it take? You know, how many? It just tons of questions. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to fill out all the information. So they stopped asking questions.
Yeah, I actually don't sell like a lot of electronics, but you know, I mean, when I do, it seems like I get way more questions than what I do
who had to say
when
that?
I'm selling clothes. Just so, John.
That was me, guys. I just
Oh,
sold,
Oh, of course it was.
I just sold some aviation magazines I picked up at a garage sale for a couple
Really?
bucks. Yeah.
Nice.
What they sell
What?
for?
Well, I took an offer for 13 so I can make y'all drink.
I'm good with that.
So
Good,
cheers.
bud.
Cheers,
That's
Lonnie.
awesome. See, you guys, magazines sell.
I got a pretty good tip for new people. You don't need the best of the best. I see people get really worried about if they need a DSLR camera and studio lights and a backdrop and just a top end computer and thermal labels. Honestly, if you're just starting out, you can do it with your cell phone, a shitty inkjet printer, and a window for some light. You don't need the best of the best. I mean, I built a photo box for my wife for $2.
But you do need good items.
Yeah.
You need good
Good
items. Good items.
Just
I
don't
like-
take your pictures on like comforters or your beds.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
Right.
see that
Feet
so
in the
much,
picture.
bro. I
Right.
see it a
But,
lot.
you know, I mean, you
Put
look at
effort
the
forward.
40%, you know, white poster board or those little trifold boards. Those are super cheap. You know, I mean, you can have a really nice photo studio for little to nothing.
And
And
if
Yeah,
you find
they
you
do
like
cost a
it, you
little bit
start
more,
making
though.
money in it, then you could look at maybe upgrading your equipment, upgrading your lighting, upgrading your backdrop.
Another thing I
Or a
see
store
actually a lot
subscription.
on Posh, and it looks good for people that aren't resellers. They'll put something on their kitchen counter and have the back of the picture be their backsplash, and those pictures actually look really good.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some
And you
nice
don't have to spend
backsplashes
money
out
then.
there, yeah.
Yeah. When I first started out, I was doing everything out of my garage, and so I had to cover up the like board of my garage on the photos. So I went to the thrift store and got a $2 gray sheet, and I hung it up with thumbtacks and took pictures with my phone, and literally had floor lamps sitting on the floor of my garage for lighting.
Whatever works,
I know
man.
a guy that's got an old barn, and he sets the table up in front of his old barn, and he takes photos outside if it's a nice day. He's just got the
Nice.
old barn board in
Yeah,
the
that would
background.
look
And
really
you know
Natural
what, it
light
looks
is the
awesome.
best.
Yeah.
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 Dude, I went to Walmart today and I picked up a 6-pack of beer, and I'm like, my poster board's a little dirty. So I picked up a piece of white poster paper and I picked up a piece of black poster paper, 33 cents each
Yep.
at Walmart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I mean, and it's good. I mean, it's good enough. I think if you're in like a clothing category that's like really saturated, I think that's when you have to spend a lot more time on your photos because you're competing hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 If you're not, if you got a really good product, you could throw it on the concrete or on the grass and take a picture with a 10-year-old cell phone, and it won't matter. You know?
Yeah, and I fully agree with that, Lonnie. Clothing is brutal, and you gotta like that's when I started. When I started getting heavy into clothing, I started upgrading my products hardcore. New camera, new lighting setup, new backdrops, new everything.
Yeah, but technically, they want you to have just a white background, so
Right.
everybody's going to be the same.
Yep.
It's just, you know, I mean, for the longest time, I'm probably going to do it again. Just go to the dollar store and get a white shower curtain.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
I've seen quite a few people now that used to have the backdrops, you know, the really nice backdrops, all going back to the white, you know,
I think
because
it's really-
that's what eBay wants. So
I am so over it. I'm just a rebel. I'm
Google
just,
says that too
no.
for product optimization on Google. They say you should have a white background as well if you want to show up in Google search results for your eBay and Amazon and all that.
It's
And-
easy to do for jewelry, but not for the clothing so much for me, which is why I bought the trifold board,
Yeah.
which I paid $10 for at Walmart. So I thought it was a little bit more than the regular poster boards I usually buy.
Yeah.
But
You know
they're
what?
really great for the shirts, right?
Yeah.
Like Hawaiian shirts I've been messing with.
Yeah. You know what I started doing, Tanya, is I've been kind of like jetting around that white background thing a little bit. Is if I have a white item before I would actually film it on a white backdrop. Now I have a black backdrop, and I take the first picture on it, and then I put in a white background on my phone, and then leave the rest of the pictures with a black
So it's
backdrop.
not washed out.
Is that with the app that you use on your phone?
Yeah, same app, but I'll just take it with a black background and then erase the background on my phone with it.
Okay, I got to get with you on that. I've been talking with Andy
Yeah.
about the one he uses, and I've kind of been messing with that. But it would be great to have something on my phone. I know you've probably told me like 5 times already.
No, it's all good. It's all good. 'Cause see, I have
my answer to that now with the white shirts and all that sort of stuff. Don't buy white shirts. That's my.
Don't buy white shirt.
That's how you get around it.
And not to mention,
Don't
you
buy it.
have stains and all that you don't pick up in the store, right?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, even if it's a striped shirt and it has a little bit of white, just a speck on that app, if you have a white background, it'll completely erase everything. So even if you have like a little bit of white on the color, it'll erase it. You can't get around it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I refuse to edit photos anymore. I'm never going to edit. Like, seriously, I don't. No, I'm not a rebel. It's just I take pretty good photos like right off the camera, and I got stuff that I haven't listed. So instead of like screwing around with the photo on an app, I want to move on to the another thing, another item.
Well, I use Adobe, so if I have the settings off on my camera for all the photos, it's not bad because I can edit the one photo, copy the edit, like all the ISO exposure, all that, and I can just paste it to the rest of the photos, and it'll just make them all the exact same.
Where do you do that?
With Photoshop,
Yeah.
with Adobe Photoshop.
Like Lightroom or something, or just Photoshop?
Yeah.
When I use my
No, it would be Lightroom. It would be Lightroom. Yeah.
Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah. But for me,
But
I'll
I still
I'll
try and avoid that. It's just if I'm lazy one night and realize I took all my photos
I
with
feel
the
like-
exposure off or something like that.
I feel like if I'm editing, that means I didn't
Or
take
work.
my photo correctly. Like if
Yeah.
I'm editing, then I need to look at how I'm taking my photos. You know what I mean? That's
I
just
kept
my
running
opinion.
into it, and I had a corrupt SD card. They looked amazing on the camera. I'd
Oh,
load them
man.
on the computer, and the backgrounds wouldn't look right, and they would be overexposed, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I tried a new SD card. I haven't had the problem since.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Well,
Well,
see, and for me, the editing is not a problem though, because like I just edit the first picture on most of my items, but I have a Sony A6000 camera, so I just like Wi-Fi. I transfer it to my phone with Wi-Fi because I start all my drafts on my phone, and it's just like 3 seconds or whatever. But
I'm going to shift gears on you guys for a second. What experiences have you had using promoted listings to boost your sales?
I swear by them.
How would you know?
Good point.
It shows up.
Why are you yelling at him?
because whenever
Yeah, I know,
you
but-
sell something, you can go look in your fees
Yep.
and see exactly if
Yeah,
it
but
was
how do you know
promoted.
it? How do you know it wouldn't have sold otherwise, though? Like
I did a little bit like of an experiment with that, and what I found was I did no promoted listings for a month. Okay, for 1 whole month, and I could not get sales to save my life, and I was listing actively, and then I did $600 in sales that month. As soon as I turned promoted listings on, that week I did $1,000 that week.
The only thing I've noticed promoted listings make a lick of difference for my eBay store is something that's brand new with quantities. Like I had brand new Dell mouses, and there's about, 30, 40 of the same listings for the exact same mouse, new in the box, red and white ones. And I did promoted listings on mine, and then all of a sudden I saw that number like, oh, one sold today, oh, one sold the next day. But anything else I haven't seen a difference on, just quantities that were new.
Mhm.
The only reason I like it because it like duplicates your listing. If you look for it.
Exactly.
You're like,
Exactly.
oh, I noticed that one day
Yeah.
while looking for something.
Yep.
I seen it, and then I seen it again down later, and I'm like, oh, and because I was
You basically get a double listing for that, your 5% or whatever. Yeah, that's the part I love about it.
because I was against it like big time. I was like, I ain't paying them. I just set it at the
I'll give it that
5%,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, when I was going through my, I picked a listing. I like to see where my stuff is sometimes, just in best match. It was something simple, and it was like, oh, I see it, and then I see it again. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on.
Jennifer Peltier said, "What percentage should you use for promoted listings?" For me, I don't know about all of you guys, but for me, I just use the trending amount for everything.
We don't ever do them because our stuff is all usually like a one-off sort of thing. It's not like promoting it's going to change it when we don't have 5,000 of the exact same thing. Like there aren't 5,000 of, you know, this one item that's on there or whatever. So it doesn't seem to make any difference if we were going to do it or not. They're either going to do the search and find it or they're not.
Ronnie, did you notice, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Ronnie, did you notice when you did that, did you notice an appreciable increase in your sales? That you can say you think that that's related to the promoted ones?
I can't say for certain. I know what I hate best offer. Best offer doesn't work for me whatsoever. What works for me is just running a sale constantly. And since me and Lonnie had a little chat, Lonnie showed me what I was doing wrong, and my sales have been fine ever since then.
Dude,
What are you doing wrong?
don't feel bad. I was doing it wrong too. That's how I knew what you were going through. Same exact thing.
Tell us what happened.
Are you going to share with the class or what?
Yes, teach us your ways.
Yeah, tell us what happened.
But
Tell us
it's
we're doing it
in
wrong.
the VIP group, guys. Come on. Relax.
We don't know that
The
group.
one we were kicked out of?
That's coming in our guide next month, you know? Our guide to selling on eBay.
No, Ronnie, what was it? No. What were you doing wrong?
It was when you go into the give me a minute, let me figure this out here. Because I gotta go into it to figure out what it was.
I've been thinking the same thing about doing away with buy it now and just running sales because honestly, it's just so frustrating. You know, when you initially buy something, you're thinking, you know, you have an idea in your head what you're going to ask for it. And then it just keeps going down and down and down. It's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've been getting away from best offer now, I used to have best offer on everything. The only thing I've been putting best offer on now is some super high end things that I don't have a lot into, like those $200 McHale shoes. Someone wants to give me $150, $100. I paid $4 for them. I'll probably take them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I try to stay away from it now. Just more a little bit unique, higher end things that, like I said, I can afford to lose a couple bucks on.
Well, and for me, like I remove best offer off everything. And I think like what's been happening to me is people will message me and say, hey, I just had a guy message me 2 days ago about some shoes. And he's like, hey, will you take $30 for this? I had them listed for $34.50, $34.99. I'm like, absolutely. But I found out when they message you, they offer more than best offer.
Ooh,
Well,
nice.
I always set the minimum where it just automatically declines, so I don't have to be really bothered
I-
with it. So if they're
I've
going
been
to shoot
on-
me a low ball, it's just declined.
I've been on both sides of best offer. Like in the past, I've been against it, and I still don't like it. I still don't love it. But a couple of weeks ago, I actually like sales were a little slow, a little sluggish, and I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna turn best offer on. I turned best offer on, and I sold my ass off, you know. And I'm like, I just started accepting like reasonable offers, but I'm not good at negotiating on via best offer. I'm not good at it. Like I get a price in my mind and I stick on it, and people like I spend a lot of time and energy, and I'm about to turn it all off again. Honestly,
I do find with best offer though, I get a lot of one person buying a lot of items. Like I put best offer on all my cassette tapes, which is weird because they're only listed for $5 to $10. But almost every time, if someone buys one cassette tape, I get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 offers from the same guy, and he, you know, just a buck less on each tape or whatever. So it works really well because he's buying a whole bunch. I'm going, yeah, shit, yeah, I'll give you a good deal if you want to clear me out of these things.
Nice.
And Lonnie, when you're negotiating, like, do you start negotiating, like say it's an offer that's not totally offensive, but it's too low. Do you just decline, or do you just start engaging in a negotiation right away?
no, I go back and forth, and usually my second counter is the price. And then if they come back again at me, I will do that. If I do a price 2 times in a row, and then they keep coming, I'm going to keep repeating that price.
Right.
And like, I have a wall.
I do that too, Lonnie.
I have a wall, and once they hit the wall, if they come under it by a friggin' penny,
Oh my God, Lonnie.
like,
Have you?
like seriously, like I get that. I build the wall in my head, and then if they're on the other side of that wall, I don't care where they're at.
They're
It ain't
blocked.
going. There
That's
you
like
go.
when you have buy it now or best offer on, and then you run a really big sale, and you still have the best offer on, and they send you a lower
Oh, I
offer
hate
than what's
that,
on
yeah.
sale. I'm like, no, right?
You
It's on
don't
sale.
don't do a best offer and have a sale on.
You know
The worst. The worst is when someone sends you a stupid best offer and they put in the thing, it's like 30% of what you're asking, and they go, "That's the best I can do." I'm like, "Oh no, you just didn't tell me that." Decline, like get out of here. And then they come
Kinda
back
like-
a few dollars higher. It's like, no, still not
It's
gonna.
kind of
do
like
it.
a tease too, because you hear the cha-ching on your phone. You're like,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, you son of a bitch! You offered me half price or something. Not a sale.
I heard Andy say one time that when he counter offers with like his best offer, he'll say in the message, thanks for your offer, but this is the best I can do at this time.
There you
I've
go.
been doing that since
Yep,
I heard
that's
Andy
pretty
say
much
that,
my-
and it works. When I
Yeah.
had that
Yeah.
message, I'd say 90% of the time they accept my counter.
That's what we do, and
We do
I,
it too.
Andy, we're on the same wavelength. We do the same
That's a
thing.
good
We
idea.
I think
say-
every one of our items is always best offer. Like I
Yeah.
don't think we ever don't have a best offer.
Sometimes we have
And
a buy
hardly
it now.
anybody
Sometimes
asks for one.
we have just a buy it now on stuff that we don't care to wait for. But we've had success with doing just like Andy's doing and saying real politely,
Yeah.
hey,
I don't have a lot of profit in this,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
or whatever.
this is the best we can do. I appreciate your offer. And many times they'll just take it.
yeah.
I mean, I understand, Lonnie, you draw a line in the sand.
And I do feel like that communication, it seems like the communication in the offer, rather than just responding with just a $25,
Yeah.
instead of having a little bit of a communication closes the deal.
Yeah.
Like it definitely seems to help to be friendly in a comment or something.
You know, I don't like the inference there, Steph. I
Not to you,
Why are you taking offense to it?
but
I'm not.
it works on local sales 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, to be friendly in a local sale and stuff, oh my gosh, it goes a long way. People will want to come and meet you and want to go do whatever they feel safe, you know? It helps.
I don't know if
Right,
safety
Andy?
is the first thing you should
Andy?
be doing with you guys.
Yes.
No, Andy, you're doing essentially the same thing, right? You build a relationship,
Exactly.
you create some rapport, and you don't say, "Hey, you just offered me a penny less than what I told you was my final."
Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve.
No, but in Lonnie's defense, though, I mean, even if somebody said, like, I have best offer on very, very few items, only like my real high dollar stuff because I have so much room in there that I can play with that.
Right.
But people do send me messages, like I said, it's like, hey, will you take this? Sure, whatever, or hey, this is, how about, I'll send them the offer back. Hey, but this is the best I can do at this time. And yeah, they usually accept it. But on, I guess, like the other side of that, where, like with Lonnie says, when somebody sends them an offer, if it's a reasonable offer, usually I'll try to come back somewhere in the middle. Like, if I'm at $20 and they say $10, I'll try to say, hey, 15. You know what I'm saying? And we'll use that as kind of if they come back at, still 10 again or 11, I'll still probably say, hey, this is, 15, this is the best we can do at this time, sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll usually take it. But, if I have a larger window, then obviously I have more, room to play. But I mean, just using that as an example.
I
And
would
for
like
me
to.
too, it depends like on how long you had the item, right? So
And that's another thing as well.
Yeah, definitely. If I've had it a long time and somebody offers me $10, I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Well, I mean, I'm still not taking it probably for $10. I mean, even on a $20 item, because all my stuff is all free shipping. So, I can't, I'm not going to take a $10 offer on something and then pay shipping. It's just, then there's nothing in it for me, even if I've sat on it for 6 months. I mean, I know I'm getting rid of the item, but at the same time, I'd still rather just hang on to it.
That's one of the reasons that I quit doing free shipping, or I don't do free shipping. It's because I was taking best offer a long time ago. And I found that free shipping would complicate the deal, especially if you're doing like free shipping on half your stuff. And it's like, am I doing free shipping on this or not? I don't know if it shows it now or not, but it used to not show it on the page. And sometimes I would screw myself.
I know what you're talking about, Lonnie, because there's some very few items like this, but we'll do the free shipping and then I'll get an offer and I'm like, man, and I'm trying, like, if I'm laying in bed or something, I'm trying to figure out like, hey, did I have free shipping on that? Because the offer is not bad, but it makes it a little more complicated.
Let me make a technical point though about best offers that I noticed that they have like the reasons to buy on your item. And one of the reasons to buy that I noticed for one of my items recently is that seller responds to best offer within 1 hour. Seller responds to offers within 1 hour. So I know that some people have said to sit on offers in the past, and it like while there's an outstanding offer, you will have like more traffic. But I think that reason to buy, where somebody sees that you're responsive, it shows that you're an actively engaged seller whenever that message is there.
That makes sense because I know a lot of times if I'm buying something on eBay and they've got the make offer, there's something about like, wanting it now and just wanting to be done with it that you're like, I don't want to like make them an offer and then they come back and all this. But like, if you've got that in there, it's like, they're going to respond fast. That'll incentivize you,
I didn't even think about that.
And it also just shows you overall as being a responsive person. And probably if you're responding to offers, if I see a guy that's responding to offers or a girl within an hour, there's a pretty good chance they're going to ship my item to me quickly too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole thing is going to be better, like with a responsive person. I think.
Yeah. That's a good
I got to read a comment. Uniquely Me says, y'all aren't drinking enough. I made a $125 sale just now. So
Nice.
you need a drink.
Good
Jimmy
job,
Choo
Unique.
Shoes.
Good job, Tracy. Woohoo.
Cheers. Way to go.
Nice.
Cheers. I'll down the whole boot. That's a whole tall boy in that boot. If anyone's
Wow.
curious.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't think I could finish.
That's a whole tall boy?
That's a whole. Yeah.
Should
That
I
just
lock
came,
this
well,
in?
it took a couple
Wow, that is
sips.
a big
Call it
boot.
Special
3/4 of a
talent?
tall boy. There's a tall
Here
boy.
we go.
beside us.
Pour another one in there.
Lock it on him.
I'm lost.
No, this is my last beer. I got to switch to whiskey after this. Just saying.
Lauren, this is your thumbnail right here.
Woohoo!
Wow. Way to go.
That's crazy.
That's a whole tall boy.
I won this for a drinking competition last week at Stag and Doe. It was whoever could chug the beer the fastest. So I won a $25 dinner gift card, a DOS boot, and some wireless Budweiser headphones.
Nice.
Long life.
Oh, I'm going to chug a drink of this.
That's fun.
Did you hold it down, Steve?
Yes. That's crazy.
Oh.
So I think, that can also, what we were just discussing, and Lonnie, so you
Oh,
just
pointed it out.
Who's that?
Get ready to drink, suckers.
Ooh, what was that?
Load up another one.
What is that?
Starbucks Sterling Silver gift card.
Oh,
Starbucks. You
cheers.
gotta love it.
Cheers. Maybe I got some ginger.
Let's see.
Let's sip.
It was a counter offer I did. $162.
Dang.
nice.
Nice.
Wow.
There you go.
Starbucks.
What is that for?
They won't give
It's
us.
a gift card. Starbucks gift card.
So let's talk about where did you get the gift card?
The dumpster.
No.
Somebody left it on the counter at Starbucks.
Holy gift card.
It was on this guy's keys that we picked up. Let me go get it. I'll show you. We've had it a long time.
Well, while she's doing that, the Lonnie, you were talking about, like it shows that you're responsive and everything. One of the things I think that would help your sales is like actually answer people's questions and stuff. I think it leads to more sales.
Seller does not respond to questions.
No, but seriously, like that actually, like you answer questions and you don't just answer the question bluntly. I understand if you're doing if you're selling a ton of stuff maybe, but to actually answer the question and take a moment to treat that person like a unique individual, and you're polite, and if maybe you don't want to take any more measurements for them, but you can maybe say it in a way that still makes them feel good about the potential deal. I think that would help not anybody here in particular.
Right.
Look,
Okay,
Steve.
here's what it is. It's collectible. It's from 2012, I think. But came in this little red velvet thing.
Probably bought it for silver value.
No, we got it.
Wow.
I think
Whoa.
this is a Craigslist
Oh, cool.
Crazy.
deal.
But I'm saying,
But
like,
look, it's got a little.
you think he bought it for the value of silver?
We got it.
It's
Well, I
solid
remember,
silver.
How
yeah.
much does it weigh? No, there's no way. How much do they pay for it?
160 something.
No, there's not $160
Right.
for the silver.
No.
That's pretty
Yeah,
Weighs
no.
a pound.
No, it's collectible. It's for the collectible value, but
As a Craigslist.
Does it have, like,
Craigslist?
money
Yeah, that
on
would be
it?
Craigslist.
Is it worth like? Can they bring it in and like get
Yeah.
a drink or
it
something?
has a little barcode on it.
Yeah, but is it loaded with money on it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, I checked it. It came originally when the guy bought it. It had $50 on it, gift card. They sold them for $200 that year for Christmas.
What did you
And
pay
so-
for it?
What? I think I got it for 60, if I remember right.
He had already
But-
used it.
Yeah, he took the.
Wow.
No, I took the 50 off. I think. Oh no, maybe he did. He did. He had to took the 50 off, and then but I checked it because it was
I
deregistered.
can't believe you're selling a Starbucks thing.
You know,
That's a
we've had this a couple of years.
I know, but I'm saying you're like
I don't want
Starbucks
that.
queen.
I don't need the sterling silver Starbucks. I got it to resell. I just thought in a few years we sat on it, it would be worth a lot
That's
more.
just a big marketing scheme. No one
Yeah.
needs a
Yeah.
silver card to buy their Starbucks. That's ridiculous. You just want to look fancy in your stupid Ferrari when you pull up to write your poetry on your
That's
laptop
right.
and your shitty Starbucks.
God.
Power.
Stupid.
Carlin says, why someone buys a dead card? This can be logged into your Starbucks account and be your primary
And
card,
you
your
can put it on your
gold card.
keychain.
And you can have it as a keychain too.
Yeah.
I think it's just to collect it.
I think the Starbucks drinkers, they've got some like barcode imprinted underneath their skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll take that and they'll like sync it up
Yep.
when they go in. They'll
The sign of the
they'll take money
Starbucks.
out of
You
your
see
account.
people look at each
Yeah, I
other
think
and
you just sign
raise
your
their
soul
wrist.
and then
They're all in that club. When you see
But-
this, that's the Starbucks people.
But if you get 300 points, you get a gold card, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I've had a gold card before. I don't
I
ever
wish
use
Tim
it though. I
Hortons
just
here
use
had
the
gold
app on my
cards and
phone.
stuff. I'd
I
probably
do
do
too,
VIP.
Tanya. I think I have that gold thing too, but I never use it. I just.
Yeah, I just use my app on my phone. Is that what you use?
Mhm.
Jory, Tim Hortons has denim cards.
That's
Denim.
right. Denim cards are when you bring your hockey stick in with your barcode and they scan your hockey stick there and you get your drink, bud. Starbucks here, we make fun of people that go to Starbucks here. If you go to Starbucks here, you're a pretentious asshole. That's
my
all there is to
goodness.
it. And it's part of this. Honest to God,
Wow.
if you go to
Talk
Starbucks
about
here,
my
you
wife
drive
like
a
that.
BMW, you drive a Mercedes, you think you know shit about shit, and you're a pretentious prick. That's what Starbucks is here.
Wow.
Sorry to anyone who's not like that drinks Starbucks in the US, but if you drink Starbucks here,
Ronnie.
We struck a nerve with Jory.
Watch the dislikes come in now.
You're not helping Lori's channel at all.
it's just for Canada. Anyone who drinks Starbucks in the US, I don't know. I don't go to Starbucks.
No, they just
Sure,
drive
you're all nice.
Priuses in America.
Although their caramel macchiatos are good, but I'm not selling
You
my
must
soul
be
for 20 for a caramel
Jory has to
macchiato.
secretly drink them in shame.
Jory's a secret prick.
Yeah.
You'll get jerseyed and thrown into a snowbank for drinking Starbucks around here.
Canada. Gotta
What
love
do
them.
they drink up there in Canada? What do they have?
Tim Hortons, you get your
Timmy's
double.
double,
Yeah,
yeah.
you get your double, pack of 20 Timbits, and you carry on your way.
20 Timbits.
Timbits are donut holes for yous that don't call them Timbits. They're called donut holes.
Yeah.
They're the punch outs for the, yeah.
Double
We put
double with 2
glaze on
shots of toonie juice.
Toonie juice.
Look, guys.
A double double is a toonie. It's a double double is a toonie. It's $1.98, and we eliminated the penny, so it rounds up to $2 for a double double. With my good old
Oh,
toonie from
man.
large DD.
Oh.
Does that come with a bottle of maple syrup, a beard, and an axe?
It should. And a flannel shirt.
In a flannel.
Okay, so let's get it back on track.
Yeah. I think Ronnie hasn't said any.
Oh no.
No.
Put it down, Ronnie.
You know what? You know what I want to talk about with Ronnie and Andy is I know you guys are primarily clothing sellers, but during the summer y'all switch gears.
Ooh.
So why don't y'all talk about that? I want to hear about that from you guys.
Sell everything and everything in the
That's
summer.
right.
whatever we can get. I mean, I sell whatever I can get any other time of year, but with the influx of yard sales and estate sales, we can go after a large, more volume of things. You go into a thrift store, it's like, I tend to automatically just go to Kohl's. I don't know what it is. I do go around the other parts of the thrift store. I mean, I picked up a golf club and sold a golf club the other day.
So
Oh, you sold that golf club?
Yeah.
Was it
They
dry?
paid $45 to have it shipped to Canada.
Wow.
I don't know what shipping I put on that. But $45 priority shipping. I was like, oh, they paid it too. Okay.
Wow.
That's a weird thing here. Golf clubs and stuff in Canada fetch a premium. I don't know why, but all my buddies I know that golf, they drive down to the States to buy their gear because it's like double the price here. The markup's crazy.
Wow.
So he probably still felt like he got a deal, even paying that crazy shipping. Yeah, like my buddy bought all Nike Ignite stuff, and he was like $400 for the driver, and then he got mad when we went to Michigan, and the driver was only like $125.
Wow.
One thing I have to learn more about is golf stuff because golf stuff
I
is
know.
at like every other yard sale here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just send me pictures, Ronnie. I'm your guy.
I don't know much about it either. I got to learn more about it too.
The
Nike
good thing-
Ignite, that's the only thing I know.
When you're buying golf clubs, just go into it knowing that 99.9%
It's
of
garbage.
everything you see is garbage.
I wouldn't say that though, John.
I
Like
would.
Yeah, it's,
around here, like I sent you pictures.
you gotta really know what you're doing with golf, but there's good money in golf.
I think if you know ping, then I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, there's a handful of name brands.
TaylorMade.
to know.
TaylorMade.
TaylorMade,
Scotty
Cobra,
Cameron.
Titleist. Oh,
Yeah, I think
Scotty
so.
Cameron. I sold one tonight, actually.
Oh,
I look for them everywhere I go. Anytime I even see like a bag sitting anywhere, I always I immediately go look for a putter. I mean, that's the first thing I always look at.
Scotty Cameron. We've
Yeah,
sold
here's my Scotty. I had to pay up for it. I gave $60, but I sold it for
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've
oh,
seen
man.
two drivers, if you can change the weights in them, they got the little weight things you can put
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I've seen some-
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
And I also love golf. Like I play golf a lot too, so I'm just familiar with a lot of the brands. And that's
Oh,
how
I
yeah.
I
the
know.
drinking part of golf.
I got no interest in golf.
Trying to see.
I tried it
I'd
one
like
time.
it.
I was like, what is this nonsense? There was only 9 holes.
I
It's
can't
like,
drive a
what is
ball to
this?
save the life of me, but my short game's not too bad. I'm actually pretty good
But
at
just
pitching.
drive with an iron, bud. Drive with an iron.
Should
Yeah,
start
that's
doing
right.
that. I can drive a ball real far. It just might go straight up, behind me, to the right, to the left.
Welcome to Golf Time, guys.
But I'm telling you, I sent 4 pictures to John. I sent pictures from a thrift store, like a putter. I think it was a driver or no, a putter and a couple of Nike irons. And he said, "Go ahead and buy them." And I sold all 3 of them. And then later on, I sent him a picture of some ping irons, and he said, "Buy them." And they sold. I made like $100 on that deal. And then I've got some more irons here. So the lesson to be learned here is just to send pictures to John.
Yeah. It was funny.
John, the golf console.
You took a picture of, like the whole sporting goods section, and I'm like zooming in, and I'm like shopping vicariously. I'm like, "There's a wedge." I'm like, "There's a wedge in there. It's a title. Let's get it." Like, get it
The
iron.
whole sporting goods section.
No, it was actually this bucket, this barrel, this plastic barrel, and it had like golf clubs and some tennis rackets in it and stuff. And John's like, "Okay, get this, and this," and he made me like over $100, like
Nice.
in a
Nice.
few minutes. So
Yeah.
You just
Hey,
got to be a
John.
golf buying consultant now. Charge a couple bucks every
Right.
time someone sends you a picture.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to help. I get a rush out of that, man. Like it really is like this. I get the same feeling as if I'm there shopping for it, like finding it.
I
I'm
get
like,
it.
"Oh yeah, that, and that." Like
I do the
those are
same
the
way.
ones.
I get like that, yeah.
Stuff when they were shopping for shoes. I was
You
like,
did.
oh, that's so awesome.
That was
Mhm.
awesome.
That's so fun when they're live and they're in a store, and I'm like in the chat looking this stuff up, like, yeah, that's it, yeah, get that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
It's like you
Yeah.
know, like, ooh, I can control what they pick up, and
Like a robot.
right?
Go back to that thing.
Hey, John, have you ever, a few years ago, I bought a putter on Shop Goodwill, and it was, the only reason I got it is they had some close-up pictures, and there was Tiffany on it. And it sold for over $100 or for over $200. But have you ever heard of that? It didn't have
Never seen a
nothing
Tiffany
else
putter.
on it.
My
It was
guess is it
putter.
was a promo. It was a promo
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The company made it, and they had some crap company make the putter with their Tiffany name.
Or it was solid silver.
Was it really?
No,
I was gonna
It
say, holy
sold, it
cow.
sold quick though. But it
it
was
wasn't
weird.
magnetic. I don't know.
It was
Was
weird.
was the shaft of the bingo wood?
So
Yes.
it's,
It was.
so it was beryllium. Is that what they? Isn't that what those putters are? John, is beryllium?
There are some. Yeah, there's beryllium irons too, and wedges and stuff. If you find
lot
some
of- a lot of
keen
them are made
beryllium
out of
irons, you
graphite,
got
though,
some
aren't
money.
Beryllium, eh?
Beryllium copper. Yep.
Thomas
That was the
Wilkinson
wedge you
says,
sold.
That was a wedge you sold, Lonnie.
Yeah, right. The beryllium.
Beryllium copper wedge. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, buy that. You know.
Thomas
And
Wilkinson says, in our retirement communities, the older folks are always trying to outdo their neighbors with the fanciest golf carts.
I can just see that, like Pimp My Ride with all their golf carts.
Yeah, you might be able to get some good deals. I know for sure, like at estate sales, when somebody passes away, you can definitely, if it's the family doing the estate sale, not a planner, you can get some good deals on stuff.
Kids,
Like
Deedles,
that.
and More asks, how do you all ship golf clubs? You can actually get free poster tubes from the USPS online, priority mailing tubes. But if it's like a driver, you got to have a longer box. You got to like dumpster dive your
No, you
golf
don't.
store.
You just put two of them together, John.
Yeah, I Frankenbox.
You can also do that.
Hey John, have you ever sold like old? Because I come across old ones sometimes. And I've never looked that up to see if there's any market for vintage.
Some of it is. Most of it isn't. It just depends on what it is. I mean, I found some old beat up Ben Hogan's. Hogan is a good name for vintage clubs.
Okay.
And they look like junk. If you saw them, you're like, those are junk.
Mhm.
But
Really?
some of them sell for hundreds.
I just passed up
Hogan.
on like 20 of those at a thrift
Hogan's?
store. Yes, yeah, whole set. Yeah,
Oh man.
of irons. I'm
Why
gonna go
didn't you
back.
send them
Go back
pictures?
and check them out.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
message me, man. I'll help you out.
I've never heard of it.
Ben Hogan. Yeah.
What's funny is with the Hogan clubs, the wedge, instead of a P for the pitching wedge, it's E because he called the wedge the equalizer. So the Hogan irons are the equalizer wedge.
I like that name.
That is very
That
specific.
down too.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because like,
Yeah.
well, basically, like if you can't hit the ball as long, you're not a long driver. Your wedge game is gonna equalize you.
Yep. And get you on the greens in a nice spot.
I don't think I've ever seen a wedge.
You have, you just didn't know
Yeah.
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 They're everywhere.
People had wedges.
Yeah. A wedge looks very similar to an iron. Like pretty much like the
It's
exact,
got a really deep angle to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does
Yeah.
angle.
especially a sand wedge.
Mhm.
Or a lob wedge. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll usually have S, L, or W on them for your wedges.
Iron Front says a lot of driver heads are too big for those USPS boxes.
Yeah, they are.
I've actually,
Yeah.
I've taken 2 of those boxes.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be 4, and I've made it big enough. It's kind of going to be, it's going to be a little, it's not going to be a square shape, but you can make a nice box, putting them together this way as well as lengthwise,
Mhm.
and they're free. Or you can just go find one in the dumpster.
To be
Have
honest,
you guys ever tried to ship something without a box? Like I shipped a hockey stick and I just shipped the item only. It was I was allowed to send it.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah. I did it with Pure Later because they have an option for freight com. I was able to ship item only, so I shipped.
What did you
a
do? Wrap
hockey
it in
stick.
paper or something, or just
No,
put the
I
label?
just put a zip tie around it and zip tied it tight, and it had the tag in the bag with the shipping label.
Oh my
I shipped it
goodness.
item only.
You know,
Insured and everything. It was a hockey stick though. I wasn't worried about a hockey stick getting broken.
I ordered a potato.
a potato.
I ordered a potato for John. I was gonna have a potato sent to John. I paid for it and everything, and after a week they still didn't ship the damn thing. So I had to do a item not received. I got a refund and all that. But all they do,
got a potato.
no, they stick a friggin' label on a potato and they put it in the
Send
mailbox.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jory, should we try this? Sending this thing off that way?
I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe your next glass lamp. Just put a label on it and send it that way. It'll be fine.
See what happens.
I didn't know you
man.
could do that, but we got a compressor in that way. And the guy just wheeled the air compressor out of the truck. I was like, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, you don't have to send them in a box. He goes, if it's a big item or awkward item, we just put it in the truck.
Wow.
On a pallet.
I don't know if I would suggest it. I don't know if it'll make it there safely. Do your due diligence with it. But a hockey stick, it got there fine. It got to Alberta.
Hey, I want to try and ship a helium balloon.
Oh my
I bet you
In a flat rate envelope.
No, bring a balloon in, put a label on it, and it's less. It ships. It's lighter than air, so it's gonna try and float. So you're gonna try
Negative
to
weight.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, you owe me.
Would using filled up helium balloons help you with your packing? Could you use a bunch of helium filled air packets just to deduct from the weight? I don't know.
You pay me. It's like whenever you it's like whenever you create like people have solar panels on their homes, and at night when they're not using this, like when they're not using all that they produced, or during the day when they're not using all they produced, it feeds back into the grid and they actually get paid for it. Could we not do the same thing with shipping?
If you take a balloon to the post office, please dress up as Pennywise the Clown and videotape it or record it walking up to the post office and try to ship a balloon. I would.
On his next padded envelope has 10 fucking helium balloons on it, so it's floating off the scale. Oh, weighs nothing, guys. Just ship the game.
Oh my gosh.
How much is helium? You might be out money, Lonnie.
Yeah, I think you are going to be.
Oh, it won't matter. It won't matter, Steve.
Please do it.
That's your next video idea right there, Lonnie.
That would be hilarious.
That would,
Pennywise
I
shipping a red
I
balloon.
shipped a helium balloon. Somebody's gonna steal it. Somebody's gonna steal this.
Or pop the son of a bitch.
Reverse.
Lonnie would walk in the post office. The guy would just pop it and be like, "Yeah, that's stupid."
Dude, when I go to the post office, Shane, I have to be careful because I have this image in my head of me getting in a fight, like jumping over the desk and like in an altercation and getting arrested and going to jail. So when I go in the post office, I'm like, you know how they treat the soup Nazi on Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I treat the post office. I'm very careful with the post office. I walk in.
No business for you.
I put my packages down, and they say, "Hello, how are you?" I'm, "Hi there, good day," and I just like keep it real straight. And I don't engage, and then I turn around.
Give him gum. Give him gum, Lonnie.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work with those guys. It's a
You know
different
what?
breed.
My post office is awesome, and I brought my puppy into the post office, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's so cute!" And like, I was in, and they love me now.
Chili peed.
Yeah, yeah.
Lonnie
My
is
post
saying that
office.
he's worried he's going to go postal on the post office.
Yes, I am. I'm absolutely worried about that.
Lonnie's gonna run in there, and he's gonna like Dukes of Hazzard over the desk. He's gonna slide over the desk, Dukes of Hazzard style.
Oh my goodness.
I'd love to see a fight at the post office. That would make my day.
Have you ever gotten in has anybody ever gotten in a fight at a garage sale?
I've been real close.
Only in the weighing day.
I've
Only a
seen
weighing day.
one.
You talking a physical
Between-
confrontation?
Yeah.
I've seen one between a woman and a guy almost get physical over like a pair of shoes.
Wow.
And I thought
Louis Vuitton.
I thought he was gonna hit her. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna get real weird.
Oh my
I saw a guy floored away in a pickup truck that was mad I bought all the video games at a garage sale, and he almost lost control of her and dumped her in the ditch. That was a pretty good one. He started going through the box I was holding. I'm like, dude, I bought every game in this box. This is bullshit. And he threw the game down and almost lost her going around the corner, and it would have just made my night had he just put her in
Oh,
the
that's
pine trees.
hilarious.
Probably a Starbucks buyer.
Probably. He wasn't, he was in a shitty truck. He couldn't afford Starbucks.
KM Riggs says, I've been stalked at yard sales. That's annoying. I think I was the one stalking you. I'll see somebody looking in a box, and I'm like, and I'll just wait for them. And like they start to walk away, and I'm like, I scurry over, like
I
right
do
to the
that.
box. Yeah.
When I see people throw stuff back, I'm like, ooh.
Okay.
I'm bad for that, Tasty. Someone picks something up sweet at the Goodwill or a garage sale, and I walk around like, are you going to actually buy it? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
If
Hey,
they set it down, oh yeah, I'm in there like a dirty shirt, just
Like a
4
dirty
hours.
shirt?
What is
that?
Just,
Yeah, I was actually at my I was at Goodwill the other day, and I was on one side of the shoe rack where all the guys' shoes were, and there was a gal on the other side where all the women's shoes were, and I heard her telling like her friend or whatever, she's like going, "Oh yeah, they got a pair of Cole Haans over here, but they're too small." I ran right around the corner and go, "Where are those Cole Haans at?" And she was like, "Oh, they're right there." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, I think those will work." And I'm like, I scooped them things out.
I have a question for y'all, okay, and in the chat too. So today I made like a really bad. I had a bad accident. Okay, so there was a guy looking at books on a bookshelf, and I saw some yearbooks right above where he was looking. So I reached over where he was, and I started picking yearbooks down because they were $1 a piece, and I had them in my hands. And the last one I picked up, it dragged about 4 books, and they fell on the guy.
Oh,
No.
So if you were that guy, would there have been an issue? Because I apologize. He didn't say anything. Like, would there have been an issue at that point?
People in the chat asked that.
Probably like you couldn't
probably
wait,
shouldn't
Lonnie.
reach over.
You
Yeah.
I
couldn't
would have
wait.
laughed. If
Yeah.
you hit me with the
He
book, I
wasn't
would have
gonna
just
follow
laughed.
those
You probably
yearbooks,
would have got a
man.
dude.
I was afraid he was going to take them. So
Candid
I
up here. He
you
would have
don't
said
do the
sorry
reach
for
over.
being in your way.
It wouldn't bother me. I would think that it was an accident until I turned around and saw you, and then I'd have been, that's no accident.
Like if you smacked me with a book to get me out of the way, I might be upset.
Lonnie, let me ask you this. When you were at Walmart earlier and you were getting your 6-pack of beer, if someone was looking at that Corona, would you have done the same thing to get the Corona? Would you have reached across them and grabbed the Corona?
Are you not more aggressive at yard sales? And
I
estate
really am
sales?
not. I'm not. I would like to think that I'm not. I try to at least keep my, my manners and my,
You
my
know
wits
why?
about me.
You know why I felt bad though? It's because I reached across and I grabbed something that dropped onto somebody that caused somebody else like pain
Yeah.
for a long tail item.
Right.
If it would have
There's
been
not
like
even like
a quick
Right.
flip, you understand, right, bro? But for a long tail item,
That's hilarious.
Imagine what he would do for a Bible. Hey, Don Maserati. Don Maserati has gotten in a fight. Don Maserati's gotten in a fight at a thrift store for nothing. And this lady kept reaching across her, Lonnie, reaching across her face, and she got in a fight. So I think that your etiquette.
oh, it was
needs to be
bad.
improved.
check
It was
yourself.
bad. Dude,
Yeah.
you don't ever have bad days or like
I'd
make
be,
mistakes?
I don't know. I'd be fine with it if you're reaching over me. You're just trying to get somewhere. I don't know. I could spin it around and say maybe the guy was a dick and just not getting out of your way. Maybe you said excuse me and he didn't move because that's happened to me
maybe-
before.
I
Excuse me,
didn't
and
say
they
anything.
just put the elbows out and I'm like, oh, no, I'm just gonna push you out of the way.
There's something called personal space. Okay, this is personal space. Don't enter someone's personal
We-
space.
I
That's not
agree.
good.
We don't
I
have
feel
personal
like if
space.
you're claiming like a bookshelf or something, that's your area that you're looking at right then. It seems like that's your social etiquette would be, this is my space. Don't
Yeah,
reach
but-
in there.
Some people take it all up and they're really rude about it. I've gone to like the Goodwill and they park the cart in front of the DVDs and then they stand there and they just
That's
take
true.
up all the room and they don't let you even look and they get mad about that and then they're just kind of being rude too. They don't even know what they want. They just don't want you having any of it.
Yeah, but Lonnie, did he have a full-size wheelchair or one of the smaller ones? 'Cause you gotta give people their space.
I don't know, but you know what? He was a very reasonable guy. He was cool.
I mean,
was cool about it.
if he was in a wheelchair, why couldn't you just wheel him out of the way? Just shove his wheelchair out of the way.
Hey, you know what? I've done that. I've kicked people out of it. You remember that, Steve? I told you that story.
Yes.
I had to kick somebody out of. I used to work in a casino. I've actually kicked people out of a casino, and when they are in a wheelchair, they're not really in a place to resist. You just like,
It's true.
they're like, I'm not leaving, and you're like, you push on them, and you're like, you're rolling, dude.
Yes,
What
you
do
are.
You have wheels, you know.
Lonnie, my favorite thing is like you tell these stories and it's like you're completely aware of how inappropriate something might have been or whatever. But in hindsight, it's just like you realize it, but it happened. way, you know?
He's trying to justify it. He's trying to be like,
No,
"Oh,
I'm not.
this is okay, right? You would have done the same thing."
Exactly,
if
John.
you-
He's hoping one of us will go, I don't see anything wrong with that, Lonnie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's
Lonnie's
awesome
just
about
in
it.
the
He is
zone. He
aware.
just gets in the zone, and that's
Dude, if you have wheels on you, how are you going to resist if you have wheels?
You can't.
Oh, of course, you're just gonna wheel him out. That'd be the easiest.
Lonnie, wheelchairs have brakes. Gosh. All right, I got something important I've got to bring up.
Let's
Attention.
see.
This is the
I'm so
current
sorry,
score,
Lauren.
Fantasy baseball
That's okay. You guys are making my channel interesting.
See, like
between
right now,
myself
Lonnie's
and the
realizing.
resale killers.
Is that the final?
It is like 99% final.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, so
dang it.
Kevin, the Tennessee picker, had to wear the Reds hat. Dwayne, Mothership Products, will be wearing a Reds hat on the show next week. And you, Steve and Steph, will be wearing Reds hats as well. I'll be sending them out to you.
Man, we were
I'm gonna make a whole team.
fighting.
I'm gonna make a whole team of Reds players. It's all six-pack.
You know what, John? I don't have a
Yeah.
team, so maybe that'll be my team now.
Hey,
I don't-
I just converted you. I made another fan for the Reds.
You know,
Awesome.
we lost the
You can
game.
keep
your
the hat
team?
that I send
Who
you.
is your team?
Steph.
Padres, you do not
The
support him.
Padres?
We lost
Yeah.
it.
Don't listen to him. You can be a Reds fan.
No, you can't.
Hop
I
on
don't even
board.
know what the Padres
There's no one on the bandwagon. Trust
hat
me.
looks like.
Hey, John.
Padres are gonna move to LA anyway.
That
Oh.
probably will, but it doesn't matter because we don't ever watch it. We don't
Hey-
know anything about it.
Hey, John, if we
Our
won,
Blue Jays up here been doing pretty good.
Hey, John, haven't the Reds only won like 8 games this year?
yeah, they're having a problem.
Don't worry about that. This is rebuilding. We're rebuilding. It's a
I still
process.
got Mark, whatever her name is, with the dog. 'Cause the
No, well, she's
president.
been dead for a long time.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
yeah, the Marge shot controversy.
Never mind.
So what were you going to send me if you had won? I'm guessing you
Do
already
you
have
remember
names.
the hats we had on Tanya's channel with the flowers on them?
That's it. We're gonna have to
We're
wear the
gonna
whole
send that.
six-pack.
Yeah, that's great. We're going to play each other again, I'm sure, later on in the season. So we'll have to do the same bet.
Oh, I should have told you then.
Yeah.
We might think of a worse one by then.
That's going to be hard to beat.
You were throwing me off with this Cardinals, weren't you? You were throwing me off
hmm
Well, are they your worst team? Like, do you hate the Cardinals?
more than any other team, yes.
Which would you rather wear though, that hat or one with like hot glued flowers all over it?
Hot glued flowers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not close.
We'll keep that in mind
Flowers.
because it might have both. We'll see.
Oh, God. Although I will say, from what I've seen, because we travel to all the stadiums to watch the Reds, and we've seen fans and you know how they are. Pittsburgh baseball fans, St. Louis baseball fans, like they know the game, like they're real baseball fans. Cubs fans, no offense, Andy, at least the ones I've seen. Ugh.
What?
Have you? That's every
Yeah, that's
Toronto
true.
fan around here ever is like that. Blue Jays,
Yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
I don't know what it is about the
Raptors.
Cubs,
They
man.
don't
The
know a
Cubs
goddamn
fans,
thing.
they don't know a damn thing about baseball. They don't know anything.
Oh, no.
I'm a diehard Cardinals fan, and my last game I ever went to was when Pujols. It was his last year, and it was Cubs versus Cards. There was so many people getting arrested for fighting.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
Cubs fans were throwing like beer at people. It was crazy, but it was awesome.
It's always so much fun at the Cubs games. I mean, and everybody's always super friendly. I mean, it's
Now, Wrigley Field was an awesome experience.
yeah. I mean, Wrigley is like
Cincinnati. I think they're just bandwagon people that you know the Cubs are good,
Well,
so they root
yeah,
for the
and
Cubs
yeah,
and they
within the
show
last,
up.
yeah, the last couple of years, I
Yeah.
totally agree with what you're saying, John. Yeah, there's a ton of people that probably couldn't even tell you, couldn't name 2 pitchers.
Yeah,
That's.
I mean,
that's
we'll go
all
to
it was
games
here
and-
too, man.
there's people in Cubs jerseys that still have the tags on them. I'm like, what are you doing? What the hell, man?
What that was like here, man. 1 out of every 10 people would have a Blue Jays hat. I think it was last year. The Blue Jays finally did good. Every single person. I love the Blue Jays. Who's the starting pitcher? I don't know. No, but they're winning.
Name one. There's 5 of them. You know, you
One
think
player.
I can name one.
And it's funny you say that too, because before they went to the World Series or even hit the championship the year before, you could buy Cubs stuff all day long everywhere, every thrift store. Now
Yeah.
all the Cubs stuff is like regular just Cubs t-shirts, $10. I mean, they mark all the Cubs stuff up. I mean, if you find it, it's all marked up. I mean, yeah, you can't even find that stuff anymore. Now it's all the sock stuff. You find sock stuff everywhere, and they can't give it away.
Yeah.
You know, but before it seemed like because the Sox were just trending a lot better than what the Cubs had been. You just wouldn't see a lot of Sox stuff. But yeah, the last couple of years, totally flipped.
I did find a really awesome Mark McGuire starter jersey at the thrift store like last week.
That's awesome. Was there a needle stuck in it?
No,
there was an asterisk next to his number.
It just had vitamin sitting on it. So.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Well, I guess this is a good time to lead out. I mean, I'll say
Oh, Lord. She's giving us disclaimers in the chat. Says, I apologize to any Cubs fans. I do not represent all the comments in this.
I want to apologize for Steve's behavior tonight. He's not usually like this.
What did you do?
I think I was outstanding tonight.
This was good. He's almost 2 whole beers in, and he wasn't crying or sentimental.
One last tip, though.
Uh-oh.
Since we're closing out.
Oh, boy. I can't wait for this.
So
This is important.
the next reseller 6-pack will be on John Cincinnati Pickers panel next week.
Oh, you got
which one?
edited.
John.
Thank you for everyone for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to hit that soon. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
EYL.
Bye.
Anyway.
Bye.